Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on day 26 of Craftly Hall. They are getting set up for the seance, so we will get to see them packing and stacking. It looks like I got, oh, that's a dangle. Okay, here is the sneaky peek. Like I know which way I'm going here. All right, so this is a side tuck, and I'd made quite a bit of these a while back. I made a pocket, and I made like a little tuck, and I made quite a few side tucks, and it was a freebie from scrapbooking with me a long time ago, and it was this beautiful sky blue kind of background paper, and then it had a set of roses on one side with pink, and another set of roses on the other side that I think had pink on them as well. And they were just gorgeous. So I decided to use them as the background base. And then I did some stamping. I did a little bit of crackle stamping. I did some letter stamping. You can kind of see another letter stamping in there. And then I did the embossing glaze in one of the brown colors. I can't quite remember if that was Vintage Photo or Ground Espresso, and I've got that stamped in a few spots just to give a little sparkle, you know. And then I have a saying at the bottom that says always and forever. But it makes a little tuck. You could have made it into a belly band without cutting that out. Or you could cut one out of either side and have it a belly band. It doesn't matter. Give your belly band a waist. Now this is, I guess it goes that way, a little matchbook that I made a while back, a long time ago. And I was using up all these little scraps that were freebies from scrapbooking with me. And this, I think this was a Tim Holtz paper. I can't even remember. I'll know when I see the inside of it. Yeah, I think that's Tim Holtz. It must have been one of the old books. But this is just scraps. And as you can see, they're a thin scrap. And see how I alternated them to where they would be the width of what I needed here? And then I just kind of sewed them in. And yeah, I mean, you might want to have just a little scrap to write something on and rip it out. These are perfect for that. So you don't have to sew it in. You might be able to staple it in. Some people glue them in. There's all kinds of different ways. This is one of my favorite papers from the Enchanted Secret Garden. I'll get my garden right here first. But it's one of those old advertisements for Vicks Flowers and Vegetable Garden. And I really love that. Let's see what else I got in here. All right, so this must be the other side. And I did a little bit of script stamp here. I think I had something on it, so I was trying to hide it. I think that's what happened there. But it also reflects the writing that's on this side. So see, I kind of made them both work together. And then this had that rectangular doily, and it has Believe in the Magic. I have a little washi here and here. And I had stained this like a pink color, and it's got one of those rubble ones. I think that's eucalyptus. All right, I think we're going to stop there so we can get into the story. All right. And I'm going to probably reread like the paragraph before so you can kind of get into what's going on again. This is the paper that I chose for the background. These are what came on the day's page, this double tag. This tag that shows, and I thought it was the dining room. And if I reread this, you'll probably hear it. But here it looks like they've made it in the living room or something. So I don't know. So sometimes I guess they couldn't find the right pictures to go with the story. So anyhow, and then it says the group gathered around the small circular table Ernest had placed in the dining room. See, in the dining room, that doesn't look like a dining room. So the story goes, for the rest of the day, Ernest equipped the dining room in readiness for the seance. Having explained to Rose and Geoffrey exactly what such a thing would entail and what it was they might expect from such an assembly, he told them that he and his colleagues would attempt to contact any souls who may still be attached to the house, that they would try to find out what was keeping them there, and then search for, if possible, a solution to the matter. Ernest had also spoken with the young reverend in the village when he had been to the post office, and it was he who arrived at the house first. Walking around with Ernest, Reverend Dixon explained that he would attempt to perform a cleansing of the building as soon as the seance was complete. He had been asked to perform such a service once before at a small terraced house in the next village, and had, so far as he was aware, been successful in bringing calm to what had otherwise been an apparently greatly disturbed household. He had not, however, seen anything like the equipment Ernest had positioned around Craftley Hall, and listened with great interest as the investigator indicated what each item could do and why it was he had placed it in the house. Just as they finished their tour, there came another ring of the bell, and as Ernest introduced his two colleagues from the committee, the final preparations were put in place, and the group gathered around the small circular table Ernest had moved into the dining room earlier in the day. All right. Now, I am under, undecision about what to put where, to tell you the truth. He's introducing his two colleagues, so I'm wondering if I shouldn't be adding their information here. This is also one of the pictures from the ephemera where they're around a round table with a candle getting ready to do the seance, but none of them people look familiar, especially two girls, I also pulled out this file folder that hadn't been used for anything because I made this and it's on cardstock. I had a house back there. Crap. As you can see, I think I reprinted it because this was too big. It was in that A4, that English measurement size. So I redid it in a smaller size. I shrunk it to fit. And so I needed to print another because I did want the house. And I got this as well, another printing of this. And see, that is my US size. But I'm going to put those, I'm just going to stack them on top of each other so there's several layers. I may even actually glue this to the background, kind of a deal. Because I want to put this, how is that going to work? I think this I'm going to sew into the signature. I'm going to put it, what do you call it, score, right down that line there. And it's going to fold up. Now, it's great on that side because it looks like a notepad, but it doesn't on that side. So we'll just scuff it up a little bit. But I'm going to make it into a tuck. And that's what the deal is here. It's going to be where some things can be tucked up behind it. And in that case, once I get it sewn in, this will have to be shown later. But once I get it sewn in, I may be wanting to do a little dot of glue along each edge here to hold it more flat against the page itself. So that was going to be my little fancy doodah on this page. And this will go underneath this side. And then this, I think, is going to be going underneath of this side here. Yeah, I don't have to worry about the top and bottom, actually, because that's not going to be glued at all. The only place it's going to be glued is along the spine. So this will fit even though it looks tall. So we've got our table. I'm going to be folding this in half and gluing it together like I always do. Glue this on the front. And then on the front of the actual paper here, I'm going to have the house and kind of catty corner them, the house there and them there. So, and then over here, you're going to be able to see their names. So that's why I didn't think I needed to really bring in the pictures of Carl Edwards and Dorothy Blakely. I think I'm leaving that to Mr. Brundle's kind of file folder. his traveling file folder thing that's going to be at the end of the book. So that's where all that's going to be. I think I've discussed that with you before. So let me go ahead and get this glued and prepped. And I have, like I said, these two things up here. I've got like a flower arrangement and some candlesticks, which maybe that's something they would have brought into the scene and or moved to get ready for the seance, that kind of thing. Plus I have the stacked chairs. Yeah, I didn't show you this over here. So I also have the stacked chairs, and I have the car, like, you know, the Dorothy Blakely and Carl Edwards drove in. This was actually supposed to be used on the page when Ernest Brundle came into the scene, to the house. But there was another car, looked just like that one almost, that I used instead, because it was a square picture. Yeah, you got to choose, you know, it was up to you how you actually put this together. And she gave so many things. Oh my God, so many. and Justin is the one that came up with the story and wrote the story. It's an original one. I was in there looking yesterday, trying to find the story for when I want to, like, try to sell some items from this. I'm trying to figure out if I want to deal with 2 big books, 2, 3, 4, for the shop, or if I'm going to just make some kind of like an accordion kind of book, or a tab type of book. I'm still thinking about it. I like the idea of something larger, though, so you can decorate it, you know, and not have to worry about tiny little areas. So anyhow, yeah, Justin wrote it, and I haven't been giving them, you know, credit lately for this. I just kind of get into it and go about it. But yeah, Tracy Fox Creative. She is the one that come up and, I guess, found all these wonderful, wonderful images. And she does her own kind of digitals and things that are wonderful. You saw that travel journal I just did. That was hers. And I'm thinking about doing another of hers that's got these Victorian ladies that are all sitting around on their sofas and settees and either reading, or sometimes they're playing musical instruments, that kind of thing. I really like that. And I'm thinking about doing that. So this one's done. Now over here, this one is just, you know, copy paper. And this was one of my extras that I had that I hadn't used for anything. So I'm just going to back it on there. So all I need to do is give it some glue, and I got to figure out what or where I want to all these things. Now, I don't know what I've really got to go with this, so is that where I can actually put the chairs? That may be where I can put the chairs, because they're not that integral to the story, but it's nice to have them in here to finish out that bit of the story. If that made any sense. So yeah, I'm going to kind of, yeah, I'll put that right there like that. And the car, though, I don't know whether to do the car on the front here. This one's going to be on the right side, and then this one is going to be on the left side. What have I got here? Oh, this is for, well, I didn't need that, did I? I might not need that for anything. Let's put it behind me. All right, let's lay it out. Let's lay it out and see what we got and where we want to go. So this is like that. I have this one I need to just kind of trim out real quick, because I know where it's going. And then I have the house that's going to be on the front of this. So I know where that's going. I'm probably going to cut it down a little bit more as well. This is to go there. And then this is on top. And I wanted it dead center. It has to be right there on that seam. I can see it. A little crack right down there. Alright, so it's going to be like that. Then we have our story chip. That's probably going to go right there. And I'm wondering if I can't, like, just slide the vehicle right there. I don't know that I need all of that down there, so I could actually cut it up a little bit. Or I could put it there. I could trim the top and the bottom and just have the car there, because that's going to show the investigators. And then I don't really have anything else that's going to go in behind. This is going to go here and possibly stick out a little bit, just like that. And I do have some flowers that could go here to give a little bit of color or something. It kind of blends in really nicely. And then I've got these candles. And I never really knew what to do with these candles. I have most of the candles over in the in the next section that's going to be red. That's where they're at. See, there's a candle here, and I think I might... Let me think about it. Okay, I think I know what I want to do. So I've got this extra notebook cut out. That's the one that's going to get cut down or glued down to the actual page itself. So we're just going around the outside edges just to darken it in case I missed anything. And I cut out the little candlesticks down here. They're kind of very small. They're very hard to cut out too. And I did still need to cut this out. Alright, I cut it down to there. And I really think I'm going to put it down here on this corner. I think that's where I want it to be. It's there for the storyline, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down in this corner. And glue all my base things down. So we're going to go with this down here. Kind of get it right there in the corner. Whoops. And then I have my plant, my vase to go over here. And I trimmed it down a little bit on this side, just so it would stick out enough that you could see. But, you know, you'll be able to see enough of it to know what it is. And, you know, that I'm sure they would have moved some of the vases and plants as they were getting ready for the seance. I didn't ink this one edge, and I think I really need to. I didn't want to ink the other. Well, that I didn't need to because it was going to be underneath. I didn't want to draw attention to it, if you kind of get my drift. Yeah. So we're going to put this story chip in the corner up top here. Right there. And now, to get this one piece down, I need to cut it in half. This right here. Alright, let's get her down. So I hope everyone is doing well today. I really, really appreciate you coming by. Welcome to any new subscribers or just new viewers that hasn't been with me before. I usually will try to do. I'm trying to finish out Craftly Haul. It's been hard. It's been like a month-long thing. And, but I'm always trying to put something in between. Just in case you're not into the Craftly business. You get something else to see in the meantime. And I think I'm going to stay up high. Just about like that. I've got a little bit more room down here at the bottom than I do at the top. That's okay. I think I'm fine with that. And then we have this page to put down. And this is in case you looked underneath. and you saw that you'll see layers like you would usually do in a notebook. Now, if you was to do this, you might want to actually print this off 2 or 3 times, because that one picture of the house could go anywhere in this journal. You could add it several times and it wouldn't be a miss, because you're always referring to the house. And I figured that I better put these together so I know where I'm at. So you could always have it on a page or just on a tag or something in the background. I've got a few things that haven't, made it into the journal as yet. And it might not be that they ever do. So I'll have those for tags or just something fun to put into the journal. Maybe a bookmark. Oh, that would be a good idea. All those extra things I could create into a bookmark. And in case I have anything to sell, I could add the bookmark in as a freebie. I was always seeing people add freebies especially when Gail, and I'm going to like stair step this just so it's got some interest to it. If it was side by side, it wouldn't be as interesting. There we go. Now I have this little committee, and I trimmed it out from something. It could have been this where I'd printed it wrong on the back side, but I want it on the edge of my file folder here on the tab. So let's go ahead and do that. And I still have room inside to write some notes and such. So I could always add more to this. There's a few other words that's on that other page that I'm going to probably put at the end. So, all right. So I'm going to put the house photo on here first. And I think it's all right, the size it is. If it sticks over a little bit, I can always trim it off. So let me kind of put it, I think I'm putting it like that. And then I'm going to trim that little edge off that's hanging off there. And then we're going to put the seance people here. Now I've got an Ouija board I have to get out of the basement and take a good picture of it, because that one I'm going to put into the next one. This one, they're getting set up, but the next one is the seance. So I don't know if anybody got confused on which day this was, but this is not the seance day. I think that's tomorrow, I believe. Or I mean, not tomorrow, but the next reading of this. All right, let me go ahead and kind of wipe that off. I probably could just wrap that around, to tell you the truth. Oop, I can. I'll wrap it around, not worry about trimming it. All right, so this goes here. I need to put a fold in this. There was a couple more, another item I wanted to put here. All right, I got to put the day on here because I'm always forgetting the day. And I usually put it on afterward. But it's day 26. And we're going to put it above the little word chip. As I really don't have a tag or anything that's sticking out. That's where I usually put it. Well, trying to get it a little straighter. All right, and then this one. And then I have one last little thing, and it's basically done. Yeah, there wasn't that much to do with this one today. All right, I'm going to dab it. There we go. And the one last piece de resistance, I'm getting in my little holder here. I've got several of these, and they've got all kinds of stuff in them. Graylin, good grief. I think that was a groan. He's over here on the bed. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so our page looks like this. This will be sewn into the signature, which let me get that page. This one right here. So it's going to go in here completely. This page goes here. This page goes here. And then this is going to get sewn right into the signature. So this worked out perfect because I'd already figured out how many days left I needed and how many of these papers, the base papers that I needed to glue to. So we are good. This is right on the money. So that will work perfect. This I wanted to put, it's like a little tiny paper clip. He had these little tiny safety pins and little tiny paper clips. And I wanted to put one right here like it's been clipped into his notebook. That's so far over, it's kind of glued down. But this, I wanted it to look like it was clipped in, which that's great. And then, oh gosh, wait a minute. Where did the, did you see what I did? I'm not cutting those out again. I put the candles under here. Oh my gosh. I was going to say, oh, maybe I can clip something there. Well, let me see what I do have. Okay, so I decided on one of the planchettes. There's two of them. I kept the more fancier one, I guess, for the seance day. And then I cut this one out, inked around it. And I think I'm going to use this little, I don't even know, it's like a hole punch size punch. And then I'm going to try to get it as close to the center as possible. And I don't think I need to really worry about it. I'll just kind of ink it. Yeah, there we go. See, I inked it enough that it's toned it down. So that's good there. So we're going to put that right here. It doesn't say anything about a seance, but it gives you an idea. And over here, you know, it reflects what's right there. So that's perfect. So let's get in there and get this down since I screwed up with the candles. Though it's basically tomorrow, or not tomorrow, well, the next day is basically nothing but like candles. So I'll have enough candles then. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if there was something there underneath the planchettes. But I don't think I have anything small enough. So we'll just let it go. Let it go. I've got all of these little things that I've cut out that I'm going to put on maybe the file folders or something, that thing I'm going to do at the very end. I'm still like thinking about a lot of it. There was a lot that went into this day. I've got all kinds of ephemera pieces over here that I've used. So let's look at this. All right. So it gets glued in totally. Then this will be sewn in, and I just did the thing on it, so it's nice and folded. But as you can see how it sticks up too much, I will come back in after it's sewn into the signature and glue a bead about 1/4 of an inch in, and that's going to hold it down because I need it to be pinchy enough. How you like that word? Pinchy enough to tuck this in here that it can grip it, and to tuck this in here and it can grip it. So it's going to be about right there. You might see a little bit of that sticking out, but that's fine. So that is what our day is going to look like. You've got some of the floral arrangements over here. You got the car that brought the Dorothy Blakely and Carl Edwards onto the scene. But there we go. And here's your close-up of the house and the people and the info. So I hope you enjoyed how I put that together today. You always say you like to see how I put stuff together. And I don't have that much left of the ephemera. This is all I have left. It's on this little thing here. This was a few pieces of paper that I didn't use over time. That's all I had left there. This was a freebie back here. Actually, this is 2 pieces of the same freebie. And that was the freebie one that they gave us. So you had the file folder, which I almost used for the backing. Yep. right here. I can just stick it right back over here. And then I had a few other pieces. I almost used the clock here. I may be using it in the next couple days. But there was this piece, which is a duplicate. I've already had this piece and used it, but I may use this torch. Maybe on the one with the church. I'm still thinking about it, so I've left it. I have a few frames left. Not many, but they're so small. I may be using them, though, on that last piece for the back section, you know, with his files. There was the other chair. I didn't need that. This was a room, looked like a decrepit room that needed help and repairs. She had a lot of stuff about the repairs of the house. There was a lot of photos with that. There was a pretty living room, and then there was several bedrooms. There was a whole page of bedroom stuff, like beds were up here, and then bedrooms, and so you could use those. Let me throw this in here. There was a second key. There was two of them, and I put one on his chest. This guy got cut out because he was that doctor at the very beginning of the story that got killed. And I don't know what the deal was with all these people with masks and stuff, but they had a lot of them. Now, I don't know, but there was a couple of pages of these people I didn't print out because I didn't need them. Now, that is a second one of this one back here. And then this was another, like a desk, like they were talking about the bureau at one time. And here's more masks. So that is all I have left, guys. That is it. Oh, I got something stuck to the... Sorry. So we're kicking right along. We're almost there. Just a few more days. What is it? Yeah, 4 more days. That's it. All right, everybody have a great, great day. I hope this day finds you healthy and happy and getting things done and staying out of the rain because we're raining here today. Thank you, Lord. All right, everybody, have a great day. See you soon. Bye.